I gotta ask you, man. I gotta get your opinion, man. Keefe D, they raided his house in connection to Tupac murder. How you feel about that?
Well, me being former law enforcement, I know they had to go to the DA and they had to go to the judge with some kind of evidence so they can issue a warrant to raid his house. So that tells me that his house was bugged and they gained some kind of information on him that he said that after 30 years, they could go back. After 30 years, they got new evidence up and something that led them to get a warrant from the DA, have the judge them sign it so they could go in there and do a raid. So it's something going on because they have to have probable cause to do that. And they not going on no evidence from 30 years ago. It's something that was said over those wiretaps. There was something they was looking for. It may not even be a Pac situation. We don't know. But it's something that's going to come up from it. They just don't raid your house, you know what I'm saying, and take stuff out of it for nothing. That's a lawsuit.
So you feel like Keefe D house was bugged?
They, bruh, they can't say 30, even though a murder, anything, a murder investigation, stuff like that is never closed and stuff like that. But they can't go on some evidence like, yo, we looking for some evidence for 30 years ago in his house, and he didn't even live there 30 years ago. You understand? So they had, if he's smart about the whole situation, they had to have his house bugged. They had to have his house under surveillance. They had to be going in there looking for something or some kind of evidence, either pertaining to something illegal or the murder investigation.
So you feel like his house was bugged and he made some comments about Tupac that made them raid his house?
Well, the thing about it is, and I said this before, if you was part or considered one of the persons in a vehicle when somebody was murdered, and it was in Las Vegas, Nevada, why in the hell would you move back to Las Vegas, Nevada? You ain't got to be a rocket scientist not to know to stay away from Vegas. You ain't got to be the sharpest knife in the drawer to know to stay away from Vegas. You understand? Because that's their investigation. In order for them to go to California, they would have to get permission to do an investigation and work with the detectives in California. And you know what the California detectives been known for. Yo, Keefe, they looking at you, boy. Some bullshit like that. They would have tipped them off or something. But why would you go to Vegas? I don't know. I can't tell a man where to go and where to live at. But that would have been my last choice. So now the Vegas police officers, even though he may have a proper agreement, you understand, that's with the U.S. Attorney's Office. That has nothing to do with the murder investigation of the Vegas police. You understand? Even though the U.S. Attorney Officer could come in there and say, yo, listen here. We made a deal with him. Y'all going to have to back up off of them. If they take him to a federal penitentiary or a state jail, he can have the marshals go in there, get him out. You understand? Because it might be bigger than Tupac. We don't know what it really is. Because we don't really know what was said to the U.S. Attorney, where they would give him, you know, immunity. You understand what I'm saying? We don't know what was said. Even though Greg Kading, I think he probably takes some of it, which is against the law. And he should be in jail. You do not supposed to take a proper agreement. And if he somehow take that, the U.S. attorney should be looking at him because he broke the law. As far as Keefe D and his situation with that, my man, they got him now. He's in Vegas. He's under the Vegas law, and they didn't make an agreement or a deal with him. And if he was in the car like he, quote unquote, say he was, according to Greg Kading and his testimony with him, then Vegas can bring him up on charges.